This is a message to my son, and I hope one day this message finds you. And if you're watching this, just stick with me. It might help you too. I'm gonna tell you about a time when one of my friends got me fired from my job. That's right. One of my friends got me fired from my job, son. Listen real close. Stick with me. Let me tell you what happened. So I was young. I was a young man, probably I was the age around 16, 17 years old. Now I was working at this grocery store. I'm not gonna name the grocery store because I don't want anybody to say anything about it. Okay. Um, I was working at this grocery store and I was doing pretty good at the grocery store. It was one of my first jobs. I was able to make a decent income. I was getting decent hours because I mean, if you worked at a grocery store before, man, they be having a massive amount of hours given to people that's new hires. Okay, and I was working there for a good while before the situation actually happened. And I wasn't doing the best. I was doing stuff I shouldn't have been doing at the grocery store from the beginning. But I became a cashier there. Eventually, they gave me a position, and I was working some decent hours doing my cashier. I was still in high school, so yeah, it was after I got school, I got out of school job, so I was closing the job. I think I was working from at the time, it was from 5 to 10. I think we was closing around 10 o'clock at the time, 10 or 11 o'clock. But I was closing in a uh, regular Monday through Friday. And, of course, I work on the weekends too. So I was getting like 5 days a week, depending on how the schedule go, because I was still a full-time student. So, so one day my homeboy had came to me. I ain't gonna say his real name. Let's call him Joe. One day Joe had came to me and he was like, "Hey man, you still working at the grocery store?" I told him, "Yes, I'm still working at the grocery store. You think you can, you can look out for your boy?" And what he was talking about was he was underage just like me, and we couldn't buy alcohol legally. So he wanted to come to the grocery store and he wanted to get some alcohol. He was gonna run through my line. Me and him had this conversation. I'm thinking he gonna run through my line and he's gonna pay for it and he's gonna leave, right? And then everybody's gonna be good because I'm gonna be able to bypass the verification on ID because I'm a cashier. But this dude didn't do that. He came through my line and he seen me. He gave me the nod. I did a scan, which it was a beep. That's all. Cause I don't know if you still can, but you used to be able to make the machine beep by either skip scanning or hitting a button. So I made the machine beep and he went ahead and took on and went over the item. And then this fool decided he wasn't gonna show me his ID, which I was just gonna look at it for the camera. And he just walked out with the item, didn't even pay for it. And I'm looking at this fool like, what the? I ain't scanning anyway, so I ain't care. But I did want him to pay for it so I wouldn't get in trouble. But this is the thing that happened that changed everything. Behind him was the sheriff of that county's wife. Yes, the sheriff's wife was right behind this dude. So she ended up calling her husband, and her husband called the the active duty officer in the area to come to the grocery store. And they had called me back up there. I had already left for the day. So he ended up calling me back up there. I ain't have my car at the time, so my dad ended up bringing me up to the grocery store, and he was like, "Hey man, we gotta uh we gotta talk to you about something. Do you know a Joe Smo?" And he said, "Yeah, I know Joe." You know what I'm saying? Well, we end up picking up Joe, and Joe had some stuff in his back seat that he shouldn't have, and we got a call. We got a tip from somebody that actually had seen the transaction, and we know you was the person to do it. And I was like, man, no, no, this not happening to me today. So he told me, the police officer sat me to the side. He said, we're not going to arrest you. We're not going to press any charges. You losing your job today is enough. And that day I lost my job. I lost my job because I was trying to be cool with one of my friends and do something that he wanted me to do, which I knew at the time was not a good idea. And I did it anyway. But I'm here to tell you, listen here. If your friends put you in a position they can actually ruin your life or change everything going on in your life currently, that is not your friend. You need to stay away from them people. Stay away from them people. Like they say, hey man, stay away from the wrong crowd. You need to stay away from the wrong crowd. And what bad apples and bad apples do fall far from the tree. They do. You know what I'm saying? So you can have them here, you can have them there. Yeah, you got bad apples all over the place. So protect yourself and don't let fools ruin your opportunity. That's all I gotta say to you, son. And if you're watching this, man, use my advice and stay away from people that don't do anything good for you. If you are watching this video and you're not my son, man, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's stay locked in, man. You know, hey, you gotta do better as young men out there, and you gotta protect yourself. And if you're a new father, you teach your kids the same thing. Make sure they do well out here on their own. Cause we all we got. Y'all stay tuned, man. More to come. Lock in.